Hey guys, I'm just waiting for everyone to kind of log in. If you're struggling to find me, just check your Microsoft Teams. All right, so I've got one person in, brilliant. One thing I do ask is everyone just writes their name in the chat so I know exactly who I'm talking to. This actually, if I can get this all sorted out, isn't too bad of a method because that's all kind of plastic whiteboard and that kind of works really nicely. But it's a bit crinkly for whatever reason, so you know. Life will go on. So I heard people were asking for solutions. You will be given solutions. Absolutely. I'm going to email you them very shortly. But before I do that, hey, good to see all of you. Before I do all of that, I just want to talk you through what's happened with the exams. As I'm sure you've heard, and it's obviously still much greater extent for the year 13s, but it hits you too, all the exams have been cancelled, right? As it stands. And it's not even as it stands, there is no hope of an exam before September. So what's going to happen? Nobody really fully knows, and that's the truth of the matter. We don't know whether you're going to get your predicted grades, whether you're going to get a mixture of predicted grades and assessments. We didn't really do, we did mocks, we did loads of mocks. We didn't do like a whole mock. So there isn't a whole lot of data to go on that. So what I'm going to have to, it might be just teacher assessment, which is good because you're a good class and that will work well for us. But like, okay, it seems to have dropped down to one person viewing at this point. So that's the situation that we're in. You will not have the exam as it stands. All right? And it will not happen at all. Nobody knows what the mechanism for assigning grades is going to be. And anyone who's spreading rumors is wrong. Yeah. So anyone's telling you, you definitely know you're going to get your predicted grade. You're definitely going to have to do an exam in September. Nobody knows. Today we might find out. Okay. Yes, it is absolutely is a shambles. And if you think it's bad for you, just imagine the year 13s. I mean, it's an absolute, you know, it's a heartbreaker. There's no other way of putting it. But it is what it is, and we'll get through it. So what happens to lessons? Lessons will continue, okay? For the simple reason, that's what I've been told what to do. And it will also count for your attendance. What's our predicted grades? I mean, I think I put some quite nice ones in, actually. This was back before, like, the mock exam, so I thought everyone was going to absolutely smash it. I mean, Boris is not, you know... I mean... Okay, the other thing we're going to say to you is that when Gavin Williamson, the guy who's in charge of education secretary, he says that if you're not happy with your grades, you will have an appeals process. Now, what that appeals process might be, I don't know. Could it be that you do the exam in, say, September, October, have another go? Could it be that you can show evidence that you've done loads of work? I mean, that might be a thing that would be a good one. Things like your attendance in things like these videos might help. You'll be happy with a C. I mean, you probably predicted one, but you know, we'll see what happens, right? I'm not entirely sure how it's going to work, and I cannot say it's going to be predicted grades. What's wrong with this process? The thing is, this is bigger than Boris. Like, we're up to the point where I think like 10,000 people are already dead. I mean, if you look around you yesterday, at points, it looks like they were literally going to shut down London with police and soldiers. I mean, whatever this is, and this is bad, don't get me wrong, I'm not minimizing this. Why cancel exams though? Can you imagine? You've got 200 people in the same room. You can do 1 meter distancing. One person coughs, you infected 200 people. I mean, it's a bit of a sticky one, right? It is so bad. I absolutely agree. I 100% agree it's so bad. We will do what we can. And you know that I will obviously push to get you the highest grades possible because that's what I believe you deserve. You've worked hard. Yeah, boots another shot? Exactly. So yeah, it is what it is. So what are lessons going to be like? Better organized than this one is the honest answer to this. Why is it only our table? But just like postpone. Yeah, I mean, that might be one of the solutions. I mean, for the year 13s, it isn't a solution. But for you guys, because you're doing it in year 12, then obviously it's a bit of an issue. I mean, I don't know why it's just your table. And I'm hoping that for like next week, when I'm going to do a proper full live streamed lesson, hour and a half, everyone shows up to it. It might be that people are, one of the things I noticed is that a lot more people watch it than actually pop up on the screen because they don't have Google accounts or whatever. And one of the things you really need to do for this is to get a Google account. Yeah, I mean, I'm just getting email after email about from work experience guys saying all work experience is cancelled. Yeah. So if you've got it, no, I don't think so. I think Boris Johnson has made that decision not to hold back everyone for a year. I mean, whether that's the right decision or not, what might happen for individual people is like, not for you guys, year 12s, but for year 13s, it might be the case that people will look at their predicted grades and go, no, I know I can do better than this. And then they will decide to hold themselves back a year, and I don't think anyone would begrudge them that. I think in the past there might have been some sort of stigma about being held back a year, holding yourself back a year. This year, everyone will understand. I mean, yes, sir, I think I've seen it proposed that there's a mechanism by which you could do it, but no, you're absolutely right. It will destroy universities' first years. Like, you only have like 5 people. Imagine oh my God, yeah. I mean, there are people that were already like, slipped a year back and then have another year slipped on. You could be 21 doing your degree first year. It looks like my connection's unstable again. That's a bit annoying. Okay, cool. So should we get down to a little bit of work here? What I'm going to do now is I'm going to email you okay, first let's just lay out what's going to happen for the future. From now on, every lesson will either be live streamed or part of it live streamed. I'm not going to lie to you. I can't do a 3-hour live stream. All right? That's too much of I just can't. It's physically, I'll end up dead. What I will do is I will do for the Wednesday lesson, there'll be an 1.5 hour live stream. And then for the Friday lessons, we'll do a mock exam and then we'll do a live stream after it. And hopefully a little bit better organized than today's was, right? So that's what's going to happen. You've only got next week and the week after, then it's Easter holidays anyway. So holidays are going to be as it is after that. I don't know what we're going to do after that. I don't know how long core maths needs to last for. I'm going to find out and let you know. Okay? For me, I love you, but you know what? It's Naima, isn't it? It's not that for me. Yeah, so Naima, yeah, I love you, but you know what? You don't want to hear my voice. You can't. And that's a bit more like it. No, neither can I. I mean, it's hard enough, keeping banter guy for 3 hours straight. Okay, cool. So if you're now your emails in about a minute or two, I'm just going to sort this out. I'm now going to send you solutions. So what I want you to do is start popping up with comments about things you didn't understand or not happy with. Okay? And I'm just loading up my emails now so I can send that to you. You spoke too soon. I mean, yeah, it's all right, my dude. I do not disagree with her in any way, shape, or form. All right? I would find that incredibly difficult to handle. The idea of 3 hours listening to my voice. I mean, my voice is nice, but not that nice, is it? I think we need the question about calculus. Right, I need to sort something out about that. It might be, oh dear. What are we going to do about that? I am going to try and find some sort of solution for that. You might find white calculators popping through your letterboxes. I don't know how we'd manage that. I'm not sure. I'm really not sure what we can do about that. Maybe I'll find, if there's an emulator, a legal emulator that we can use, I'll do that. That might be a shout. Right, cool. My email has popped up rather. Bear with me just a mo. So I'm literally just going to send it out now. I just got to make sure I'm sending out the right thing. In any case, how's everyone been? I mean, this is a hell of a situation. I don't know. I've tried to stay in as much as I can, but I hate it. I hate being at home. So here's paper 1 mark scheme. You did the paper 2. Let's see if you put the 2A in there. Yeah, I think he has. Yeah, cool. Okay, the mark scheme I'm about to send you is not only this week's mark scheme, but it'll be next week's mark scheme as well. So don't lose the file, is what I'm saying. Bloody hell, this takes forever. Ikram, do you mark me in? I said here before, yes, you did. I'm going to sort out, you understand I'm working from home, right? So registers are not going to be entirely responsive straight away, but I will make sure that everyone's marked in. All right, don't worry. It's literally as soon as I finish the live stream, I'm going to send that email, just let everyone know that, you're all in and that's fine. I mean, it was good to see Ashanti was here as well. Right, let's do this. Flipping computer, I hate this computer so much. Right, okay, cool. Let's send you an email. So I'm just about sending you that mark scheme just to let you know what I'm up to. Oh, for flip's sake, why is this such a garbage machine? I mean, all right, cool. Let's do this. So Ikram. Who else? Isabella. I really just need a class listen for you. Like I might just do it on. I don't got properly. I haven't got quick list. Isabella. Who else is in our class? Famida, otherwise known as Naima. Come on. Sorry, you're just literally hearing me swearing at my computer because this has been remarkably stupid today. It's remarkably stupid every bloody day, but there we go. Go away, please. Cool. There you go. I'll draw you a picture to keep you occupied. Hey, can you even see that? Hello. I don't even know if you can see that, to be honest with you. I didn't ask you to do that. Can you see that? Yes, you can see that. What are we talking about there? Sorry, I've lost the chat because I'm trying to sort out my email. The picture's nice. I mean, by my standards, that isn't even. Yeah, Yaron, I'm fully on this. I'm going mental now, mainly because I'm swearing at my computer. But you know, other than that, right, let's try and sort this out. So yeah, one more time. I hate this computer. It's not even the computer's fault, really. It's just like everyone's online today, as you can imagine, because literally everyone's working from home one way or the other. Ikram, Isabella, Yaron. Can you not try and guess what I'm doing, computer? You're not getting it right. Famida, Zerda. Young Zerda, there we go. Precious. Not Prevail, Precious. It's not hard, Precious. Who else have we got? We've got Holly. I don't know if Holly's there. I don't know if she's on the chat. I don't know if you can hear. Like, if you're watching this and you've not joined the chat, get a Google account and join the chat and incidentally subscribe to me because that'd be cool. Who else is in the class? Elisa, that's spelled a weird way. That's come up as Aisha. That's not what we're after. We're after Elisa. That's right. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Who am I missing? I am missing Dilan. Samzam. Sam. Not Zama. Samzam. You don't reason. Samzam. No, that's fine. Who else are we missing? On that table, who have I not got? I've got Casey. No, Casey Gillespie. No, Casey Gillespie. Who else we got? We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. There must be other people on that table. Yaron, we got Dilan, we got Zerda, we got, yeah, that's fine. Of course, Sarah, we haven't got Sarah. Sarah Mohammed, that's another one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Ashanti's another. Yep, that's it, that's another one there. Let's see how many we got now as it stands. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. I think that's right, you know. And then attachments. Sorry for the delay about this. As I said, this is disorganized because it's the first time I'm doing it. But the good thing about it is it's going to get better. I mean, my live streams, you look at my previous live streams, they were worse than this. But every day it gets better. So like by the end of like a couple of weeks, everything will be perfect. Everything will be super organized. Just bear with me for the time being. Right, cool. So you've now got solutions. I'm going to stay on this live chat literally for the next half an hour. Hello, Zerda. What I'm saying to you is very, very simple. I'm going to be on the live chat for the next half an hour. So you're marking your work, and then you're going to start popping comments in the live chat about things you want to see. And I'm going to happily do the examples for you, if that makes sense, right? Well, not happily. I'd rather be sleeping. But you know, it is, right? So we've got 8 people so far. That's good. Dilan, is that in Kurdish or Turkish? Shanti said, brilliant. Only people doing online school already. Well, no, I think this is all right. Yeah, I'm going to mark everyone in a moment. I'm going to mark everyone in at the end of the lesson if you don't mind. Just because, like, my computer's good. It just needs tuning up, really. I don't know what I'll do if my computer breaks. I'll be absolutely dead in the water. I mean, let's not tempt fate on that. Sooner or later it will. So what I'm waiting on you guys now is you're marking your work and then you can start popping comments. Can we just go through the whole thing? Yeah, I mean, maybe pop it up and let's just do that. Why not? I'm just going to pop up the question thing. Just give me a section, Techno. I mean, if we do decide to go through the whole thing, it's obviously going to overlap into next lesson, and that's fine. That's fine, because I only wanted to do APR next lesson anyway, so that's kind of comfy. Right, cool. Yeah, I don't care about that, thanks. Right, so here we go, got the paper. All right, so statistical techniques. Okay, so I'm going to start with the question one. I didn't send the solution to Rita. Can you do that? Do you mind just bumping that off for me? Because messing around with emails is getting things, is slowing this down. Yes, Naima, what do you want? You feel like shouting at me. Hello. All right. So I'm going to go through the paper now. Bear with. This is the least useful. I wish I had a printer. My life would be so much easier. A whole bunch of prelim material, which you've got. Okay, so we had to critically analyze Charlotte's research, right? Ramos, yeah. The mark scheme didn't make sense. What? Bear with me a second, we will investigate. Have you scrolled down to the right one? Because you've only got the paper one mark scheme at the beginning. You just need to go down a bit further. So let me just check it. If he sent me the wrong mark scheme, I'm going to get homicidal. But to be fair, I'm not going to cuss him out till I know he's wrong. And he's not wrong. No, if you scroll down to page 3 is the paper 2A mark scheme, and that's what you're after. I hope that now makes sense. So yeah, so we need not to cuss out the guy who did this. He actually did a good job. Yeah? Okay, cool. Here's how it goes. So we're talking about a very, very small sample size, right? And that's problematic for a whole bunch of reasons. Let me just pull it up. It's just loading up. Just give me a sec. You definitely need to do this too. So what you're doing is this: critically analyze. Can you see that? Yeah, good. That's good. Critically analyze, which means we just don't take the things at face value. We kind of look at see how reliable are the things we're doing. So here it goes. Critically analyze her research. Now, there's loads of things you can say about her research. Yeah. She asked 15 people in her neighborhood, right? Not specifying a method of how she's got that. Has she done a random sample to pick the 15 people in her neighborhood? Maybe her neighborhood votes conservative, right? So in general, I mean, I suppose because we are doing it for a neighborhood, that's a fair shot. But maybe her local part of that area doesn't. Yeah. And when you talk about winning here, a whole constituency is bigger than just one neighborhood. So the biggest problem with it is you only ask 15 people. Yeah. Huge problem with the graph is graph is not to scale. So only ask 15. That's a problem. Yeah. Only ask 15. Huge problems there. Yeah. I'm trying to move the cameras and get more white. Oops, that's my house. Right, cool. Then your next problem is bar graph is misleading. Yeah. The bar graph is trash because there's no scale, and it's actually not even no scale. It's worse than no scale. It's can we have a house tour later? I mean, you're getting one for free because I don't know how to use a camera. Let's rub all this out. So yeah, I'll put it from here, and that'll be a lot easier to see. Hello, can you see that? Look, can you see that? Yes, you can. So what were the problems with it? I mean, too few people. Yeah. Too few people. You still can't see that properly. This is what I mean. It's literally a new setup for today. So too few people. Misleading graph because it's not drawn to scale. Yeah. I'm not doing house tour till I fully scrub my house. All right. It's actually not that. It's not a dirty place, but you know, you want it to look good, right? So misleading graph, right? And it's deliberately misleading because like the difference between Labour and Conservative is 8 and 5. So you'd expect the Tory graph to look a bit like this, which you can't see. Let me just draw that in place where you can see. So the Conservatives would look like this, and then Labour would look like that, with Labour just about being above half of what the Tory graph is. But that isn't there. What you see is like Labour really, really small, and the Conservatives like 6 times bigger, and that's just not what the mathematics would have you have on a proper graph. So that's why we would say we would be very critical of her research. We say like her research is not got enough people in it, and the graph bars are just they're not drawn to scale. Okay, so let's look at part B. Draw a diagram to better represent. Use the grid below. I mean, I don't know what I'd run on that. I would say you could do a proper bar graph. Pie chart might be an option. Let's have a look at the mark scheme in this. See what the mark scheme says. The mark scheme suggests a pie chart or a bar graph, literally what I said. So literally the 2 choices I gave you are the right choices. So the 2 choices you should do for that are the bar graph or a pie chart, but not both. It's not a dirty place refuses to talk. I mean, like privacy. Even I'm allowed it. I mean, it's creepy enough talking to you from my house, right? It's so weird. I mean, it's not that I don't love you, but I wouldn't invite you to my house in normal kind of circumstances. Like, this is legit. The scanning was wonky. Yes, I didn't do it, which is why I panicked for a minute when he said there was the answers wrong. Right? It was Mark who did it. Bless him, because he actually was right. But at the end of the day, it's not the end of the world, right? So I couldn't do it online, so I left it. I mean, rubbish. Really? I mean, you listen, let's be real about this now, Zerda. This is how it's going to be probably till September. All right? So you can either opt out completely, in which case bad stuff will happen to you. I mean, especially with all your courses. For what it's worth, yes. I mean, it's not like, what am I going to do? Stop you? I didn't stop you even when you were in front of me. I'm not going to stop you when you're in your house, am I? I mean, you printed yours. Yeah, everyone who's got a printer is now blessed. Yeah? I don't own a printer. I'm thinking about buying one, which is a pain in the neck. I'll see if the college will fund that for me. My printer ink is going to die. Yeah, I mean, there's no way I can get resources to you, and I reckon this will go on till September. I'll be honest with you. Yeah? This is, I know. Right, cool. So we've got past question 1. Question 2, discount dresses. So all you've got to do, again, is you see these words critically analyze. It doesn't mean the same thing as criticize. All it means is, let's have a look at the sums she did and see if they're accurate or valid, right? So when somebody says critically analyze something, they're not saying go and criticize, which it kind of sounded like I was doing from the first question because she was wrong in so many different ways, this Charlotte lady, right? So before any discounts, so everything's got, you've got 25% discount. I need to buy a new pen. Whoops, you can't see that. I need to work out what you can see. 25% discount, right? You've also got another 15% off after any other reduction. So you've got to do the 15% first and then the 25%. Is it just my one bugging? Actually, now I'm glad we're socially distant. As it stands, it doesn't say there's any kind of issue with my Wi-Fi. So it's your side, I'm afraid. I mean, I'll tell you, I'll speak it out when it's mine, because mine has slipped at times, but I think earlier on in this live stream. It's actually not. Yeah, and don't custom my Wi-Fi. Okay, so we start off, before any discounts, you've got £65.97, right? So it's 65, put my hand in the right place, £65.97. Yeah? You still can't see that properly. So here's my hand. Yeah, okay, cool. I've really got to sort this camera business out. It'll get better, I promise. So £65.97, yeah? We first remove 25%, yeah? Then you remove 15%. So the calculations that Sophie made are wrong, because what you need to do is remove the 25% first and then remove 15% of that. Let's see if, and it's just calculated after any reduction. So I reckon she's made a mistake there. Sophie, our new friend. What are you cursing now? Apart from like my substandard YouTubing, which is going to get better, I promise. Hang on in there. We're going to get better at this. Yeah. So it's literally, if you look at the solutions, it's literally what I said to you. You can't add the 25 and the 15. You first got to do the 25 and then do the 15. So she's found some of the reduction and didn't get the final cost, you do need to work out the answer. All right. So it's not good enough to just go, well, look, I know she's wrong because the method she did was wrong. Even though that's true, you know she's wrong because the method she did was wrong. All right. But you need to work out what the exact actual answer is and how wrong she was. All right. How are we feeling on that question 2? Is anyone unhappy with the question 2? Well played, boss. Right, so let's have a look at number 3. Can anyone just shout out if like I've gone too fast and 1 and 2 are not happy things? Right, number 3. Use, oh God, is this horrible one, isn't it? So it says, use financial transactions. You've got to read your prelim materials. So that was attached to the front of your exam paper. It's been claimed that handwritten checks to pay for everyday products, services, and bills are in decline and soon be replaced by credit cards and debit cards and electronic payments. Does the data support the claim? So first thing you need to do is go and look at the data. All right. That's not so. That's not so. So what you do is you do 65. Again, I've got, my main problem is placing of things. So you do 65 times 0.75. Do that for me now. Okay. And then I'm just going to throw this pen in the bin. Then whatever answer you get, times that by 0.25, and that's different. Yeah. So first times it by 0.7. Sorry, my apology. 0.85 there on that last one. So times 65.97 by 0.75. Whatever number you get, times that by 0.85, and you're going to get an idea of what's going down there. So that's the answer. All right. So just be careful there, Zerda. All right. Cool. So going back to question 3, we're doing comparisons of how people are spending, how they're using to pay for things. And it looks like the number of checks is falling. The number of direct debits is increasing. Bank transfers is increasing. The electronic transfer chaps is increasing. Credit card is increasing. And debit cards increasing. So what we've got is a whole load of evidence that using handwritten checks is falling. So yes, the data does support that claim. Okay. But that's 5 marks. So you might be thinking, okay, that can't be that simple, right? Okay-ish. All it was it says like, because in the question for question 2, they said 15% has to be applied after any other discounts. What you need to do is just be really, really kind of clever on it and go, well, look, I'm going to first do the 25%. And then afterwards, I'm going to do the 15% on the number that I've just worked out. I hope that makes a bit more sense now. Yeah. Okay. Going back to 3, it's clear from the data just by running my eye on it that the amount of checks has fallen, but the amount of other kind of electronic transfers has increased. But that's only going to be 1 or 2 marks. So let's have a look at the marks here and see how they add more detail onto that. So for question 3, they say the data supports the claim, 1 mark. So you're going to get what they're actually asking you for there, yeah, is to show percentage increase and percentage decrease, yeah, or proportion actually, what they've done there, yeah. So what they're trying to ask you to do is not just to say, okay, the numbers are getting bigger or smaller, that'll get you a mark. What they're asking you to do is like the percentage of checks out of the total is getting smaller and smaller year on year, yeah. So let's just take a quick example. I'm going to do one calculation to show you what that actually means. For 2010, let me just get the camera back up. For 2010, we had 892 check transactions out of, and then you add up all the other transactions to get yourself a decimal. And I don't know what that is. 892 plus, so it'll be 892 plus 3229 plus 427 plus 32 plus 2003, and all of them numbers put together, right? I'm gonna have to do something about this camera. This is getting my nerves. Yeah, plus 2003 plus 6498, and all of those added together, and you divide 892 by those, and that will give you a decimal. It'll be like, I don't know, whatever, 5%, 6%, whatever it is, right? So what's the point of that? The point of that is very, very simple, right? It tells you that however many percent of actual all the transactions put together is this thing, yeah? Do the same thing for 2015, and you see the percentage has gone down. So the proportion of checks being used compared to a total number of, what am I writing on? No, it's a piece of like whiteboard plastic. I used to have this little whiteboard, and if you can believe it, the camera problems were even worse with that. I'm still not perfect on this, but I'm getting better. What I need to do is get my camera up to like the top of it, and then you can literally see the whole whiteboard. I'll have that done next time you see me. Just bear with me, as I'm saying, it's a learning experience for everyone, right? Anyways, no, he's not a t-shirt. I'm wearing a t-shirt, but it's not a t-shirt. I'm writing one. Okay, we cool. Yeah. So you add them all together, and do a 2010 proportion. See if you can see that 2010 proportion and a 2015 proportion, and show that the proportion of checks, yeah, show the proportion of checks is smaller in 2015 than it is in 2010. That's the logic behind it. And what I've done is I've done the 2010 calculation for you to show you how it works. If you're doing the 2015 calculation, it'll be 471 divided by the total number of transactions. Okay? Is that making sense now? So question 3, if you don't understand it, can you pop a comment in the box? And while you do that, I'm going to fiddle with the camera some more and see if I can make this better. Because I reckon I can. I want you to be able to see more of everything, is the idea. Because then I've got a bigger whiteboard to do with. Whoops, a daisy. Whoa. Will I get... What does that mean, though? Because I'm a bit baffled by what you're saying. Okay, cool. That's a start. Okay, that's a lot more boards. You can also see a ton of stuff now. Right. Let's put that back a bit. Okay, so rub it all out. So, yeah, so what did you say? So would I get any marks whatsoever by saying, example 27, we use over 200% a number of... Yes. I mean, is that all... Well, is that all 5 marks? Yeah. Do you see, like, literally you get 2 marks for each comparison percentage you work out. So if you worked out 2010, you get 2 marks. If you work out 2015, you get 2 marks, and you get 1 mark for the conclusion, right? So, like, what am I saying to Dylan? Let me just see. I think you'd get something. I think you'd get something, right? Is there descending means? You know what memes? Actually, I know what memes. I'm distracted enough as it is. No, I can't speak English. Okay, so yeah, Dylan, I think you'd get some credit for that. Okay, but the best way to do it, show like the proportion of it has gone down. That's probably the easiest way of doing it. Okay, I am confused. Doesn't matter. Are we all reasonably happy with how 3 plays out? 1 for the conclusion, 2 for going, okay, the percentage of checks being used in terms of the total transaction is this in 2010, it's this in 2015, it's gone down. Yeah, exactly so, Dylan. If you don't understand what I'm saying, because I'm talking too fast, Dylan is the one to follow. Right, let's have a look at 4. What time is it? We've got about 5 minutes. We'll do 4. Okay, crunchy crisps. 200 grams. Oh, this is the one you need a calculator for. Okay, cool. I'm going to say let's park 4, then let's skip to 5, and I'll do 4 with you when I've got a white calculator I can film doing. Does that make sense? So let's do 5, and we're going to come back to 4 on Wednesday. I'm not going to run away from it. You need to know it. Again, it's bloody normal. So I don't really want to do a normal one. This is the thing. And regression line, cool. That's easy enough. All right, I'm going to skip to 7 and do the rest later. Okay, when I say do the rest later, I mean I'm going to do it in class with you on Wednesday. All right? You have one, yeah, but no one else does. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try and either email you a emulator, which you can put on your computer or on your phone or whatever, if there is one that's legal. And I think there is one. A tryout one you can use for 30 days anyways. Or I'm going to literally just film my calculator, which I think that's probably the best way around of it if no one owns a calculator. So, Naima, I'm glad you got a calculator. You're very, very much in the minority here. So I'm going to go straight to 7, and then we'll talk about the rest on Wednesday. We're also going to research, also not research, we're going to also learn about APR, okay? So APR, that's our lesson, and it'll be a full live stream. That'll be a full-on lesson, all right? I mean, we've gone 35 minutes today. You don't, I know most people don't, all right? That's why I need to think about how I'm going to sort that out for you, all right? What I should have done is lent you them, but I didn't see, well, I suppose I could have given them on Wednesday. Never mind, it's gone now. Okay, Xavier? Draw a line of best, a scatter line and line of best fit. So we all hopefully remember the rules, and you can check your answers on the mark scheme for that more than anything else. I mean, the first column should be your x-axis and your second column should be your y-axis. I'm sure you know that. When's this live stream ending? In about 4 or 5 minutes. Okay? End of the lesson. All right? I just want to finish off 7 at least. Describe the correlation between high temperature and the number of air conditioners sold. That's obviously going to be a positive correlation. Yeah? And they say 2 marks though, so let's investigate what the second marks are. You get 1 mark as a positive correlation, I'm sure, but you know, what do they say for the second mark? Well, what they're saying there is, bear with me just a moment. So basically, you can't just say positive correlation, right? You've got to relate it back to the question. That's true for A-level as well. So if any A-level people are sneakily watching this, if you're going to talk about correlation in any way, shape, or form, say what it is: positive, negative, null. Oh, sorry, that's something else. Positive, negative, or no correlation. But then also say something on the lines of, bring it back to the question. The higher the temperature, more likely, also more air conditioning, number of air conditioning things get sold. All right. So Xavier looks like there's 25 air conditioning units in previous July. This implies air conditioning is going back 24 sentences. Explain whether his claim is sensible. I mean, the answer is no, and it's for obvious reasons, right? Nobody kind of looks at the number of sales of air conditioning and go, oh, I can use that to predict the air temperature. That's crazy, right? There might be a correlation, but we can't, it's not sensible to do it that way. If you want to know what the air temperature is or might make a prediction about air temperature, I mean, you'd measure the temperature of the air. It's just common sense, right? Okay. Let's get the video back up. All right. So here we are on this, right? As of Wednesday, what are we going to do? We are going to finish this paper. I'm going to have to find something with a calculator. Somewhere sorting the calculator business out. I'm going to email and find out. We're going to do APR as our topic. It's this YouTube channel, and it will be for about an hour to an hour and a half. All right. Would it be sensible if it wasn't a claim, but it's an estimate? I mean, if you had no other evidence, yeah. I mean, but really, common sense. This is the core maths common sense question. Who predicts air temperature from how many air things are? Yeah. I mean, I get that, but imagine, like, for example, a big hotel chain decides it wants to buy all their air conditioners when it's cheap, as in, like, say, the wintertime, because nobody wants air conditioners in the wintertime. So they'll make, they'll invest early. Then you'll start thinking, well, December is the hottest month. Do you see how that works, right? There are so many other variables that kind of like, the same like things with winter clothes, right? Clever people buy their winter clothes in the summer. Why? Because they're cheaper. You get what I'm saying? But like, I see why you'd say that, okay? But just think about it. Remember, it's core maths. Core maths isn't just maths. It's weird that way. Core maths is like everything. Okay, so that's me done for today. Next week will be better, all right? I do apologize for this, but I think all the teachers are in the same boat. Some people were just sending you out emails, some people using Google Hangouts. At least I'm trying to teach off a video, right? That's something, and it's going to get better. That I can promise you, yeah? So you guys take care. Do you remember it's Australia? Yes, of course it is, but I think we can assume, generally for questions, context of questions, that it's going to be based in the United Kingdom. But it's a fair shout, okay? So as I say to you one more time, thank you all for your patience. It's going to get better. We're going to have to get better at this because we're going to be doing this for a while, a long while. All right. We may not see each other this side of September. I hope we do, but I can't promise that. Okay. So you take care and take these seriously. It's not like, this is not like a little kind of thing we're doing for a hobby for a week or two. It's going to be the way, and it's not just obviously core maths. Well, you might say, well, yeah, it's just core maths, but all your education's coming through this mechanism. We need to go. So just it's on the whiteboard. We're going to finish this exam paper and we're going to study on APR. All right, because APR was something we got messed up on the paper one we did a couple of weeks back. Is that all right? I will try and email you. Well, I won't try. I will email you out resources, presumably the day before, so you can have them. I mean, yeah. Listen, imagine having like a little tiddly whiteboard that you're shifting around. You don't need to imagine, just watch some of my other videos. You'll see that. This is so much better than that. All I need to do is get the camera right. And like I'll have an A1 size whiteboard. I'm not taking any insults on that. All right. So you guys take care. Take your studies seriously. I know core maths is not the biggest thing, but you know, all of them are like that. Right. Take care, guys. Have a lovely weekend. Look after yourselves. Look after each other, yeah? If anyone's feeling stressed or worried, feel free to hit me up on the Microsoft Teams because I get that it's pretty stressful for you, okay? It's all right. You guys take care. Bye.